Hello and welcome back to Art for Everybody. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Evi Steiner-Böhm. I'm an artist from Germany, and these two little figures here are called Pedro and Rosa, and they are my assistants in my videos. Now, as you can see, I'm standing under the old cherry tree on our farm here in Bavaria, where we live. And from this cherry tree, I have picked the cherries which we are going to paint together today. Now, what makes cherries really difficult to paint, especially for beginners, is the reflecting surface. As you can see many lights on the side where the windows are, but you can also see reflections from here, from the paper, and you can see reflections from the wall over there. Now, the first thing you can do to make work a lot easier for you is to put a dark wall on one side of your cherries, like this one. You can use a shadow box or simply, just like me, dark cartons that you have painted black or brown. With this, you can already reduce quite a few reflections. Now, the other thing which makes it difficult to paint cherries, especially dark ones, ripe ones like this one, is that they all have the same color. And, if you put them on a dark background, they are almost invisible. So you have to choose your background wisely. Choose a light background or a fairly light background, and also use different colors in your cherries. It's a lot easier to arrange a still life which makes sense to the viewer. And now in the next step, we're going to paint two cherries together, step by step. It's not difficult at all. And after that, I will paint a small still life with cherries for you, and I will explain some more tricks on the finished painting. So let me show you the material first, as usual. I'm going to do a small demo first on just white carton, where I'm going to show you how the two cherries work. And I'm going to use these colors, which are titanium white, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, crimson, Payne's grey and cyan. And I'm going to use soft brushes this time, because with reflecting surfaces, like with the cherries, with acrylics, it's kind of difficult to do that with bristle brushes. As far as the drawing is concerned, cherries are really easy to draw. They are nothing but two spheres, a little dented, and I'm going to change the photograph I've taken for you a little and let you see the cherry from this side, where the stalk comes out of the cherry. So you have this little wave here, just like with apples. And the other one we're going to see from the other side. And that's all there is to it. If you have difficulties drawing spheres, please see the video I've already done on that topic. Now for the black cherry, or for the almost black cherry, I'm going to use my cooler red. I'm going to use the crimson and simply mix it with a little of Payne's grey. Now, crimson is a fairly transparent color, so when you paint on white surface, you probably will have to paint over it again or even again. but that doesn't matter because layers always make your painting interesting because you automatically get different nuances of your color, and that's what the viewers like. Now I have reduced the reflections on the right side, so I can go darker here and also in here and simply blend the color. Now, if we want to go a little lighter here, it might be a good idea not to use white, because white, especially with Payne's Grey, makes the color go cold, and it might be a good idea to take the cadmium red and put a layer of cadmium red over the light side. It will go darker in a minute, so that we get the impression of warm light on the left side. And for the reflections you might see on the right side, you can take the white, and as you can see, you get a kind of cool color, and then you can add some reflections on this side. Then all you have to do is put in the lights, the strong lights on the left side. And now for the lighter cherry, I'm going to take the cadmium red and the crimson and fill in the whole cherry first. And then take a little Payne's Grey, mix it with the crimson, and again blend the darker color into the lighter one. And like before, you can add a little of the cadmium red in the light side. Might be a good idea to let the layers dry first. And put a little shadow on the dark side. And again, mix a cool red for the reflections in the shadow side. And then simply add the white lights on the right side. Now for the stalk, I'm going to mix a green, which is really simple, of course. I take the cadmium yellow, take a little of my cyan and a little white, because these are fairly light stalks. And since we're going to paint the cherries in front of a fairly light background, you will probably need a very strong shadow on your stalks. And I usually do not draw a full line, but sort of break the darker line. And the little thing up there, don't know what it is called, where they grow together, simply is a light brown sort of spot. also with a dark accent on the right side. This is, I think, all you have to know about the cherries. And the other thing I wanted to show you is how I mix the color for the little bowl, which is also very easy. I take my cyan, put a tiny bit of yellow in it, and then add white, so I get a kind of turquoise color like this. And also with the soft brush, you can blend the paint really well. Shouldn't be a problem at all. And for the shadow color of my little bowl, I simply add the color of the cherries and again blend it into the lighter color. The only thing you will notice is that as soon as you go on a white surface, since acrylics are not as opaque as oil paints are, you will need many layers of paint so that you get a smooth transition between the different colors. You can add a little more water to make it easier. But as I just said with the cherries, layers are a good method to get interesting nuances in your painting. So don't hesitate to put layer upon layer on your acrylic painting. This was all you have to know about mixing the colors for the painting. And now I'm going to let you watch how I do the little still life with the cherries. And after that, I would like to show you why I choose which colors for which part of the painting. So this is my finished painting, and what I wanted to show you are some tricks I use to make a painting more attractive. The first one is a trick of the old masters, and that is always if you have the light from one side, you make the background very, very light and sort of warm behind the shadow side of your object, because then you have a strong contrast between dark and light, and you get a real strong three-dimensional impression by doing that. On the other hand, of course, if you have the light side, you have to go darker with your background here so that you have a sort of dark and light contrast here as well. And I used the same trick with the two cherries here. I made this one very dark and this one even lighter as it is in reality, so that you have the impression that the light goes around the dark cherry and hits the lighter cherry. But mind you, in reality, it doesn't look like that. That's simply a trick. The same thing here. You have a very dark brim here on this cherry to make this cherry look even lighter. The other trick I use is borrowed from the Impressionists. I do very abstract backgrounds where I use lots and lots of colors that aren't there. And I always choose them in a way so that I have contrasts between cool colors and warm colors, or light colors and dark colors. So here I used the blue because I wanted a cooler background behind the cherries. And here I used the yellow, the warm background, because I wanted a warm background in contrast to the cool color of the bowl. This is why the background, of course, seems unrealistic, but this is why we are painters and not photographers. We can interpret reality, we can change it, we can, make it to our liking. And this is what I would strongly advise you to do too. And with this, I've come to the end of this short video. I hope you enjoyed watching it and you will join me for the next video. And until then, have a very good time. See you soon.